I'm looking for Aughra.
Who sent you?
My master, wisest of the mystics.
Where is he? Around here?
He's dead.
Could be anywhere then.
Well, hey, it's a gal who everyone knows loves a good Muppet-filled crystal-themed adventure. It's Katrina Porter.
Hi, Anna Serene.
Welcome to Split Happens, everyone else.
Welcome, everybody.
Each week, Katrina and I discuss a movie both of us love. However, only one of us gets to say anything good about the movie, and they're the pro of the episode, which means the other is the con and must attack it. Our one rule is that the con only has to attack during the synopsis. And if they say anything at all good about the movie during that time, they incur a penalty and have to say something nice about a movie that they hate, which the pro gets to decide. So this week, if I catch a rule break from Katrina, you're going to hear this sound.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
Which the pro gets to decide.
That's what you sound like.
Hey, Katrina.
Whoa.
Where are we?
On location. We're on location. We are in Denver, Colorado.
Yay!
We're at a podcast convention. We are a podcast movement. Denver 2023.
Oh, I have to
Okay.
go further if you want to.
Convention.
I love it here.
Yeah.
It has been pretty wonderful so far.
Pretty cool.
We've done really well.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think it's going to make this episode even better.
I hope we meet some fun new people. We do actually know somebody that's here already.
We do. Yes.
It's Drew.
Hi, Drew.
I can't wait to talk about this ad nauseum at trivia next time I see him.
Are we going to be like the cool people?
Oh, I hope so.
And everyone else is annoyed because like, oh my God, they're talking about that fucking podcast convention again.
It's like somebody that went on vacation to Europe that one time, and so they find a way to make everything about that. Can I tell you? Can I share something that happened yesterday?
Okay, but I have to share something that happened yesterday also.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, so you know how when we got in yesterday, we had a little bit of time before we could check into where we're staying at. I don't want to say where it is because I don't want someone to come kill us.
Sure.
Okay. So what else are we gonna do but like go get a facial?
Yeah, we already went to the liquor store, to the LQ.
Well, yeah, we're not monsters. So, I mean, we're gonna use our time wisely.
Yeah,
We got cheese. Also,
we did.
yeah, we got fruit
And cheese.
and cheese
And bread.
and bread.
Lots of bread.
We got protein, carbs. Anyway, okay, so I'm getting a facial. And I don't know if your experience was like this, but the person that giving me my facial used gloves, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But all it could make me think of is that, well, like literally, and I was thinking this while I was getting the facial, is this what it feels like to get a massage from a serial killer? I could not get the thought out of my head.
I do have a few follow-up questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Are serial killers known to give massages?
Well, if they want to like make it nice. I mean,
To put you at ease and then to pull the rug out from under you? Or
Well,
just like, you're going to be killed, but, you know, I'm going to make you comfortable.
they're going to murder you, but they want to make it nice.
Well, that's nice. That's better than the hillside stranglers just dumping their asses on a garbage dump.
Wait, okay, I'm playing the law of averages here. You have to assume that there's at least a couple serial killers that make it nice.
I guess my other question
Okay.
is, are you incapable of relaxing?
I think so. That's a good question.
Wow. I am fascinated with your brain.
I could not get the thought out of my head.
I'm so glad you told your story first. Because speaking of which...
What?
Okay, first of all, I wonder how many of our listeners are giggling their little 12-year-old, inner child asses off every time you said facial. So when we got our facials...
Oh, is that like a sexual euphemism or something?
A facial?
Oh, it's like when you get like spooched in the face?
Yeah, it's rude.
Okay, well, point of clarification. How do I explain this where it doesn't continue to sound dirty?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, never mind. No need to just...
we're really trying not to men bash so much anymore. Not a lot, not overtly, but
I need to edit my notes.
I will say that men seem to find, and again, it's that 12-year-old inner child, seem to find a way to make any innocuous word or phrase into something filthy and disgusting.
Wait, we do that?
Well, yeah, but they add it to Urban Dictionary. I want to talk about what happened when we got to the place we're staying.
Okay.
At which we are staying.
What about it? I don't know where this is going.
Okay, well, at one point, it's in the early evening, and we're finally, starting to relax after a hard day of flying and liquor store, Whole Foods, and facials, not the dirty kind.
Yeah.
Thinking about serial killers, apparently. We're relaxing on the couch in the living room.
We're taking our notes.
Well, we were about to. And then we heard the jingle jangle sound. An innocent jingle jangle of ding, 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 a little song outside. I'm like, oh, it's the ice cream man. And I look over, and there's Katrina immediately at the blinds, looking out, like, what? Investigating. And you're like, what is it? What is an ice cream truck going down this street? Doesn't it seem unusual? Doesn't it seem unusual to you? It's Sunday, Anna. Like, who in their right mind is... They don't even have pictures of the ice cream on the truck.
Okay, I have a couple follow-up statements.
What ice cream truck have you ever seen that doesn't have pictures of the ice cream? Doesn't have any of those... I'm trying to think of the ones you named. It was so incredible. It was like none of the...
Strawberry shortcakes?
None of the strawberry shortcakes. None of the atomic pops.
Yes. Okay, riddle me this.
Okay.
You or anyone, have you seen an ice cream truck that had not nary a picture on the side of it of said ice cream? No.
You were peeled too. I wish I had, my phone was charging, so I couldn't take a picture of you. And I wish I could have, because it was absolutely hilarious. It wasn't like a joking thing. You were like both hands, like Carol Ann on the, TV set, looking out the blinds. Like, sure.
Well,
like,
I had no shoes on, but I was fully prepared to go out there should any kids succumb to that bell.
Oh, to follow the Pied Piper?
Yeah.
The ice cream Pied Piper?
And also, It was a very strange time for the ice cream truck to be going down the street. I'm just saying.
It was like 5.
No, it wasn't.
Something like that.
No, it was not. It was at like 7:43 p.m.
You're making that up.
No, I might have written it down.
What the fuck?
Just in case anyone had any questions later on.
I wrote down the time just in case, and also the make and model of said pictureless van.
Hello, Detective Fine Bomber.
Dude, your brain is... There's something rotten in Denmark. You have been corrupted by serial killer books and movies and whatnot.
Oh, okay. Speaking of movies.
Yeah.
To quote A Time to Kill.
Yes.
I want you to close your eyes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I want you to think back throughout your whole life.
Oh, no.
And all of the countless ice cream trucks you've seen. Have you ever, in all those memories, remember any of those ice cream trucks not having pictures of tasty treats?
Now imagine they're white.
I rest my case, Your Honor. Members of the jury, thank you for being here. This is very important.
Members of the jury, well, thank you, Your Honor.
You've done a great service today.
I'd like to propose. Well, I want to talk about a movie.
Okay.
This one.
Mm.
I know I for sure am super excited about it.
Mm.
But how do you feel?
Well, I am going to take this movie on a journey to find a sacred shard. I'm going to bumble around an enchanted forest until I find some less than garbage takes, and then fly through the air on my puppet legs with said shard, destroying the evil horde.
I literally cannot think of another movie that could possibly be. I can't even think of another movie that has anything to do with a shard, except for Jim Henson's brilliant, innovative, beautiful, fully puppeted 1982 The Dark Crystal. This feels like a dream come true for me.
I was 5 when this came out.
Yeah, I was 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can tell you the budget for this was about $15 million.
Which does not seem like a lot to me at all, given, and I hope this is the first time I hope this is the only time I say it until a post synopsis. This movie's fucking incredible. It is gorgeous.
I think it's fair to say, I don't know if this is okay to bring up, that you haven't seen it for a while.
I haven't seen it in decades. 30 years or more.
I definitely have. I love it so much. I watched the Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance and on Netflix, and I was very, very excited to see it. It does look like it comes right out. I mean, it just, there's just, it's like somebody, it was like people that study lightning, and the original Dark Crystal is lightning in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it just worked so beautifully at that time, and it just didn't quite translate. Now it wasn't quite as good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, because they did everything right.
Was this popular then?
It was. I said the budget was $15 million.
Uh-huh.
It grossed about 41-ish
Okay,
million.
that's not bad.
I think it got third its opening weekend. Here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like Labyrinth, and we talked a bit about this in Labyrinth,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't do as well as Jim Henson hoped it would, and it crushed him.
Well, that's the thing with the 15 million. The sets were crazy. I mean, it has the look of a labor of love to it. It is so beautiful.
That 15 million, I should mention, was his. They had gotten funded, and I think, I want to say after they had seen something, I don't know if it was early parts of it or what, they got pretty nervous, the people that were funding it, and he fought. I don't know if they had to go to court, but he had to fight to gain control, because they immediately wanted to start changing things up, because they were like, something's not working here. This isn't good. We're getting real, real nervous. So he bought them out with his own money.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Just to be able to maintain that control, because this was really, really important to him. We've talked about this so many times. In 1982, it was an insane year for pictures. We've talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
It would be tough against many of the movies that came out that year, but it literally opened the same week as E.T.
Oh, whoopsie doodle.
So they both have some dark themes, but that one was a lot more palatable to children, despite this having a completely puppeted cast, which was the first of its kind. And Jim Henson being insanely popular at the time.
Mm-hmm. Because of the Muppets.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Here's how this movie I'm going to do not a ton of trivia. I wish I could. I do feel like it would be an insanely long record for that. And we have time on our hands, but not that much time.
Well, and you did quite a bit of trivia in Labyrinth, so people
Yes.
can always go back and listen to Labyrinth.
I highly encourage you because I did a fair amount of trivia on that, and there definitely is some crossovers with that for sure.
Labyrinth, Battle of the Bowie Bulge.
In 1975, Jim Henson saw illustrations in the Lewis Carroll book The Pigtail, and it sparked an idea for a project. Fast forward 3 years, and Jim Henson is stuck in Kennedy Airport with his daughter Cheryl because of a snowstorm. And the two of them took the hours that they had there to write. She said, I quote, "During the blizzard, the world appeared to be one enormous blank white slate. My father filled pages with ideas and musings. By the time we reached London, he had an outline for what was to become the Dark Crystal." You can actually see images of his notebook.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, of all of his writings and drawings and things like that. Oh, how beautiful. You can see all those early inceptions. Henson, like you had said, had already done the Muppet Show, and he ended it at like a high. He was insanely popular. He's like, you know what, we're good, and walked away from it. He had, prior to that, he had done a recurring puppet skit on SNL called The Land of Gorch. And Henson liked the idea of the brothers Grimm fairy tales because he felt like it was unhealthy for kids to never feel fear and that they can handle darker material. We definitely did talk about this in Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
He felt like maybe seeing those darker themes in an easier to digest setting would help children's development in being able to cope with that sort of thing later in life. I'm not in the mental health profession, but that makes sense to me.
You mentioned mental health, so it's your fault that now I'm talking about it.
My fault.
One of my very favorite books about trauma is called Coping with Trauma by John Allen. But another one of my favorite books about trauma, and part of it is I love the title, but it's called The Gift of Fear. And what I love about the book so much is fear tells us something. Like we're kind of trained that we're not supposed to be scared of stuff. Sometimes fear tells us that shit ain't right. So we're sort of conditioned that we're supposed to ignore it. And sometimes you should kind of pay attention when things don't feel okay. So anyway.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Gift of Fear.
With the Land of Gorch, Labyrinth, and certainly the Dark Crystal, we see a lot of those darker themes.
We see them?
We see them.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about this in Little Shop of Horrors, but this was actually Frank Oz's first directing job. He was co-director, at least. And Jim Henson specifically asked him to come on board. Frank Oz was like, "Are you sure? I don't have any experience with this. Why would you want me? Why would you want to share that? Why would you want me in this process?" And he says, "Because you would make it better." And it was one of a long line of things with Jim Henson that showed a lack of, or not a complete lack of ego, but ego was not his main driving
motivation or.
Right. That's pretty much all I have for pre-synopsis.
Okay.
You want to get into the Dark Crystal?
Yes. I'm very nervous. It's a beautiful movie, and I really hope I don't say that again. Play the fucking. I was trying to yodel, get everyone ready.
Is that what that was?
As much as it is in this movie.
Oh, how dare you.
Let the games begin.
Our movie begins with a storm.
Yes.
Wait, what? What?
Did I disarm you?
Yes.
By agreeing?
Yes, I'm very disarmed now.
Yeah, Anna, how'd you feel about this movie almost immediately starting with lightning?
Not good.
Are we going to get a scary-ass tree and a clown next?
You're smiling like a fucking serial killer.
Like clown? I agreed with you.
Where's some ice cream, kids?
That truck was fucking suspect. Stand by it.
We have a voice that tells us
1,000 years ago, this land was green and good, until the crystal cracked. For a single piece was lost, a shard of the crystal, and two new races appeared. The cruel Skeksis, the gentle mystics.
Another world, another time in the Age of Wonder.
Question.
Uh-huh.
When exactly is the Age of Wonder?
1910.
If I'm going to have a presidential campaign, my slogan's going to be MAWA.
Mawa?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Make America wonder again.
Not wonderful.
No, wonder.
There was a wondering age. When was the World's Fair, the Chicago one, where it had like H.H. Holmes doing his silly things?
Not wonderful.
Well,
right?
that was the Age of Wonder.
Oh,
The World's
fuck.
Fair. They were learning all kinds of new things of how to push a hoop with a stick, but electrically.
I don't like the word shard.
I don't like the word shard.
Isn't that another name for a fart?
Shart.
Says you. I think it's shard.
Shard. We're shards.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay. Do you have another word you'd prefer me to call?
Is that what caused all the strife? Too much farting by the Skeksers?
Skeksis.
Okay.
To my understanding, basically, there's a planet, and it has a race of Gelflings, which I'll talk about later,
Mm-hmm.
and Podlings, I'll also talk about later.
Okay.
And this race came down, and they split. They ended up splitting into two.
The Podlings
Races.
and the Geldlings?
No. This race, like aliens, came down to this planet
Mm-hmm.
and just took residence over to the crystal, and they split into two factions. They were two groups.
Like Sneeches with stars and Sneeches without?
Yeah, two big groups. Like
Okay.
they're like the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Divisive.
And the Skeksis were attracted to the power of the crystal, so they built a castle around said crystal
Uh-huh.
and drew power off of it.
But they stink.
Those are probably the Backstreet Boys, I think. I don't know. I don't have a dog in this fight.
Okay.
I don't know. 1,000 years, the Skeksis ruled the roost living in that castle.
Okay.
And then they do some like hoo-hoo, goo-goo, laser beam shit with the crystal to give them life. And meanwhile, at the faraway commune is like the hippy-dippy, farm-to-table loving mystics. That's the other group, the NSYNCers. And they're gentle and peaceful.
Holy phallic crystals. They ain't gathering around for that crystal. They checking out those penises.
What do you mean?
That palace is filled with penises just stuck around all over the place. That was a stinky, farty dick palace. Shards everywhere.
Well, that just sounds like a bunch of guys. It sounds like a locker room.
And you know, and I know, and everyone who's seen this movie knows, this movie stole the opening scene from Blade.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Were they in the club and the blood rained down?
No, of course not. Jesus Christ, aren't you a fan? When they're all standing around to be zapped by the blood god or whatever.
Isn't that at the end of the movie?
Yeah. Yeah, when they're, the scene where we're blessed to see both Wesley Snipes and Steven Dorff without their shirts on.
When is that movie? When was that movie made?
Anna,
Mm-hmm.
was the movie an original concept or was it based on a comic?
Fuck you.
All the blood gods standing around?
They got that from. I'm sorry that you feel like Blade ripped off the Dark Crystal.
How dare you?
I don't know.
Wesley Snipes will take your apology right now and also some help because he's probably behind on his taxes again.
he did his time. He did his dime. He did his time. He paid his dime. Probably should have paid a few more times. He wouldn't have had to pay so much time.
Damn it, Wesley.
Today, the mystics are hanging around.
Are those the turtles?
They're not turtles. They're the hippy-dippy, like, loving.
Okay, cool. Turtles. The big turtles.
They're not. They have tails. Long, lizardy tails.
Turtles have little tails.
They've got like a nub. But these are long tails. They're more lizardy. It took, I think, it took a lot of people inside each of those because there was one person moving the right hand, another person moving the left hand, and another person inside the the mystic. And so it took a lot of teamwork with these because they were huge. Actually, a lot of the puppets in this were quite large. And I'll get into it a little bit more later, but it is staggering how big of a world Jim Henson built with this movie.
They were large.
And they're large.
Well, they say something about a blur of forgetfulness. I can't completely remember. Makes me think of almost all of our recordings, and it feels very judgy when they say it. That's a con.
They are the opposite of judging. They seem very accepting.
No.
They brought in that orphan kid. Very accepting. They get together to do their,
Weird ass chant.
when they're summoning the one who's going to save them, and they're like,
Anna.
yeah,
Anna of the angel voice.
yeah.
Not a one of them is on pitch, and you know it.
They start harmonizing. Oh.
Mm-mm.
You can tell who didn't show up to practice.
All of them.
No. Some of them definitely did. Some of them, felt like they had it covered and didn't need to come to practice. Harmonies are tough.
If you don't go to practice. The sports people out there will get that reference. Practice. We're out here talking about practice?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
In the Valley of the Mystics.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this.
In the Valley of the Mystics, actually, now that I'm reading it, it sounds like a Led Zeppelin song. It's a Gelfling. Jen. And he is the chosen one, okay?
He ain't really playing that flute.
It looked like an ocarina.
That sounds like Macarena.
Hey.
Whoa.
Oh, whoa.
Is he naked?
He is unclothed.
Why?
Because he's taking a bath.
He's taking a bath with his flute?
It was okay when Robin Hood did it.
No, it was not. And also, he didn't have a flute. That would have been weird. That would have been a bridge too far.
He did. I saw him playing with it.
Oh my God, they just said his pipe gives him no comfort. Is it Tuesday?
Jen races home because his master is dying. And that's a bummer.
Master, what's wrong?
Yeah, some people care about their loved ones.
I'm dying. But what's wrong? Open those big ass ears. I'm dying. But I don't understand. I'm dying and the Skechers are going to take you out as well with shats.
Skeksis.
Okay. But can you help me? I'm dying, you pointy-eared bitch. But will we meet again? Okay, fine, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
That was that whole scene. I just did it for you. And in the movie, it was 10 minutes long.
I remember it differently.
How do you remember it?
I don't remember anything right now. Thank God I have notes.
You don't remember anything now because of that blur of forgetfulness the turtles were talking about earlier.
Is that what we were calling the Corleo?
Yeah.
Blur of forgetfulness? Tequila! The master tells Jen, "You in danger, girl," and that the Skeksis vow to destroy him, and Jen needs to find the missing crystal shard before the three sons meet. And Aughra is the one who holds the shard, so Jen has to go find her. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, castle, the Skeksis are gathering around the dying emperor, and they all want to take over, especially Chamberlain, aka Skeksil, and the general, aka the Garthmaster, aka Skekung. Chamberlain is voiced by Barry Dennen. He is fucking incredible in his portrayal of Chamberlain. I love him. I can tell you do too because your face is imploding. He was also Pontius Pilate in the film version of Jesus Christ Superstar. And actually, he was briefly in Trading Places. He was, do you remember the end when they're on the beach?
Of course I do.
Right. And they get, I can't remember their butler's name. They're like, "Butler, we need more drinks," or whatever. And then the butler turns to his butler. That's him.
Oh,
And he's like, "Yes, sir." And then runs off super fast. That's him. The emperor is just not quite ready to give up power and die already. But die he does. And it's pretty clear because he turns into a crumbly mess.
I feel like every scene with the Skechers is like watching the crowd waiting for a Golden Corral buffet to open up.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Well, you got to get first to them rolls. I told you a little bit about this last night, but the Skeksis' costumes and looks were based on the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, I couldn't quite figure that out, but also I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Well, I told you at the end of their big scene they were in. That's according to Jim Henson. Because there are 10 Skeksis, they had to kind of reuse a few of the scenes, so...
Like Monty Python?
Yeah. So they never released like an actual, this one represents this one, but, luckily this has a massive cult following because it's so amazing, right?
Nope.
Ooh.
Fucking bitch.
Your head
you
shaking
tricky
so
bitch.
differently.
Oh, no. I'm going to have to be on my guard.
You goddamn bitch. They have kind of figured it out, so to speak. So I'm going to go ahead and say them. If people find this interesting, great. If not, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We have Skek Ayuk, and that is the gourmand. He's gluttony. That one was pretty clear, I think, to us. Skek Ekt is the ornamentalist. That is lust. Now, the names and their, what they are, that is from Jim Henson. That's not, fan created. Skek Na is the slave master. They feel like that is sloth.
Oh.
Because he's a slave master because he doesn't want to actually do the work himself. Skek Ok is the scroll keeper, also sloth. Skek Shad is the treasurer, is greed. Skek Sil is the chamberlain. His name isn't Chamberlain, it's the Chamberlain. He is envy. Skekso is the emperor. His sin is lust. Skektek is the scientist. He's pride. Skek-ung is the Gartham master. That's actually his real name, also known as the general. That's wrath. And Skekzak is the ritual master. He's pride. Jen is ready to take off on an adventure.
Kind of. Or not. He's really wishy-washy about it. He's like, I'm not ready to go alone. And then he's like, all right, alone it is. Within 5 seconds.
Well, it sounds like he's adaptable.
No, that is like me on any diet journey. Okay, I'm ready to start my healthy lifestyle journey. Okay, I'm ready for my angel food pound cake journey. Within 30 seconds, those things happen.
That is not true.
That is absolutely true.
That is not true. I can tell you that you're lying. Because there's no way that you would be breaking that health journey for fucking angel food cake of all things.
Angel food pound cake.
That's not a thing.
What is it that you make?
Sugar cookie pound cake.
Okay, that's what I meant to say.
Oh. Oh, it's so good though.
Yes, and for a fact I would break any journey for that. 5 minutes ago, I took a journey to say I wasn't going to have a second shot of tequila, and here we are.
See, there you go. You love journeys.
And I love breaking them.
And quests. You love a quest. You love a quest.
I'm not saying I love a quest.
But you do.
I'm not.
Yes, you do.
Nope.
The Skeksis are ready to pick a new emperor, and there is some dissidence in the ranks. And now it's a fight.
I wish it was trial by stoned.
Who could trial by stone?
No, I wish it was a trial by stoned. Who could tolerate being the highest?
Oh,
I think that would be funny.
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
You remember in Dune when he's with the Fremen?
Oh, with the Fremen, yeah.
He's training them, and he's like, smack it, flip it, rub it down.
Oh no!
He's like, yell at it. He's like, break. That big stone thing reminded me of the thing that they have to their trial by stone.
Well, somebody took a trip to Wakanda and got some vibranium.
Yeah, he did. That is the general. And is also known as the Garib Master.
Okay, well, all I'm saying is it would have been funnier if it was a trial by being stoned.
Well, that's always funnier.
Okay, thank you. We agree.
The Chamberlain loses, and he must pay. And they basically take all of his shit and they leave him naked.
What are they doing to that Shrekker?
Skeksis?
Are those his titties?
Yeah, he's got some titties. He's got some bitch shits.
What if I could not, and I am not stoned, but I could not get this thought out of my head.
Oh, dude, tell me.
What if they showed up to the crystal chamber and the Care Bears were there? And they were like, hey, guys. We heard that there were some sad faces in here and we care.
What are you doing with that one? Where's all of his clothes? Are we allowed to see this?
We came to stare at you until you feel happy.
Everybody stare.
And the sketchy that just got publicly humiliated,
Skeksis.
and his titties are floating out there. He's like, I could use a stare. I feel pretty low. The Care Bears are over in the corner like rock, paper, scissors.
Like fucking it.
Like, who's going to stare at bitch tits over there? Grumpy Bear's like, not fucking me.
Why would he be into it?
Grumpy?
Yeah. I'm treading a very, very delicate line here.
Okay.
I am not saying that nurses are grumpy bears. I'm just saying that right off the bat. Because you know how I feel about nurses.
They're the backboard of our country.
I'm sorry, what are they?
Backbone of our country. Goddamn tequila. And also, they carry backboards.
They do on occasion. I love nurses. When both of my kids, I brought fucking cookies and snacks and all kinds of shit for the nurses.
Yeah, because you also knew that you'd be a monster patient.
I was definitely not a monster patient. I probably apologized 18 times for being uncomfortable during my...
You also, during registration, tricked that poor nurse into thinking that you were being abused at home.
Wait, what? Did I? No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
And I swear to God, I don't remember this.
You don't remember it when you were getting registered, when we were in the room, when you were getting ready to have Finn?
Yeah.
And the nurse was like asking you all the questions that they have to ask you.
Yeah.
And Adrian and I were in there,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to ask you like all these questions. And they said, are you being hurt at home? And you said, do I have to answer with him in here?
No, I didn't.
Yes,
Did I really?
Yes. And this poor nurse
I'm so sorry.
looked at Adrian and then looked at me, and I'm like, she's messing with you.
So why couldn't somebody say, we've known her forever. Trust me, she is chronically unserious.
And I could see on Adrian's face, he really wanted to keep it joking. And I'm like, you guys better fucking stop right now.
Well, we also said release the Kraken when Maddie was born, so I can't help it. I bet their days, I just assume their days are just doldrums.
No. Nurses want days that are doldrums. Most of their days are not doldrums.
Listen, my point is, again, not saying, don't put that on me because I'm not, because I really, really do love nurses. Alyssa Angel is a nurse.
Uh-huh.
And how much I love her.
I do know that.
Thank you.
She's an angel.
I'm not getting on nurses' bad sides. What I'm saying is that Grumpy Bear's demeanor is kind of no nonsense. Like he's willing to do some shit because he's like, you know what? This is just the way the world is. Fuck it. And sometimes nurses have that same type of demeanor. Nurses will deal with difficult, yelling, screaming asshole patients all the time because they just know that's
Grumpy Bear's maybe Grumpy Bear because he's on cleanup a lot.
That's the way of the world.
Okay.
So I'm saying that Grumpy Bear would be the one to deal with Chamberlain and his bitch tits.
Okay, I took us on this journey. It's my fault.
I can't believe you really fucking see that. I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember that when you were
No.
getting registered?
No. I assumed you were talking about, I said something about bruises because I
No.
say that shit all the time.
No. Are you being hurt? Do I have to answer that with him in here? And the nurse was like,
I'm sorry, what?
because they're used to just going, no.
Was I on an epidural at that time?
No.
I bet I was on an epidural.
You
at
were
that
not.
time.
Dude, we weren't even back in your fucking room. This is pre-registration.
I do remember asking the nurse if I could have an epidural recreationally.
Right.
I do remember that. I am so sorry for people that have to deal with me on a daily basis.
Well, speaking of crazy shit, Jen's balls finally dropped. And we know this because the old turtle gave him very clear directions. But he's like, these directions the old turtle gave me are shit. I'm going to go wander this way instead.
Well, all of a sudden, the mystics hear a noise, and it's the crystal calling, asking them to come. And unlike me, they actually answered their phone.
Oh,
I don't like
fucking
answering my
get me
phone.
started on that.
Oh my God, I don't like answering my phone. I don't like talking on the phone.
I don't call you. I text.
I know, because you're a normal, sane person.
Okay, you can answer a text though.
I could be better at that.
Okay.
We all work on our different things.
Okay.
That's mine to work on.
Work on it.
The crystal shows them that there is a Gelfling out there. That is this, I said the mystics. The Skeksis
Sketchers.
hear a noise. Skeksis see that there's a Gelfling out there. That's Jen. And they are freaking the fuck out because he is prophesized to destroy them. So they send their big ass beetle crab thingies to capture Jen. You don't like it?
The beetles. Those beetle things?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, the noise they make is upsetting.
It's very upsetting.
It's almost more roach sounding, isn't it? Isn't it?
It's giving me heartburn.
I don't like it.
I think it could be the tequila also.
It's so good though.
I know. I wonder what we're going to eat for dinner.
We just ate.
Okay.
I love the world that Jim Henson has made for this. It seriously was such an undertaking. Henson said he felt like it didn't matter if everything they built could be seen. What was important was them to make a believable world. So even if it wasn't filmed, it still had to be there because that was the world that they were creating. I think that's beautiful. That is trivia.
This is a trap.
That's trivia. That is trivia.
Okay.
My hands are away from the button.
Okay. I agree with that trivia.
I just think that that's a commitment to excellence that Jim Henson had that is not often necessarily shown today.
I think that Jim Henson consistently showed that it didn't matter about finances or the bottom line or anything. He was committed to his vision, and his vision was making people happy.
There is a director that reminds me of that. That it is like a strange attention to detail. Even if people don't notice it, he just can't help himself. That's Edgar Wright.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
And now it's time to meet Mother Farman Aughra.
What in the nightmare fuel mixed with porcelain dolls is this Aughra?
Aughra. Oh, the look of fear on your face when we got to Aughra. You were like, oh no.
She got a fine ass though.
Aughra, definitely. She's got a dump truck.
She's got junk in the trunk. I was like, what, baby, but let me see that phone.
Aughra has got the shard, all the knowledge, and apparently a dump truck ass.
She's got a shard, all right. You could just picture her farting all around that.
Speaking of titties,
Jesus
she got
Christ.
some titties too.
That's why she's so ornery. She's got probably has back pain.
Well, I understand. I actually always thought that Aughra was voiced by Frank Oz. Nope. She is voiced by Billy Whitelaw. Billy Whitelaw was the nanny in The Omen. I believe she's actually the voice of the trash lady in Labyrinth.
She is. Yes, that.
But more importantly, and it is insane that I literally just brought up Edgar Wright, she's the innkeeper in Hot Fuzz.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were my husband. You must be Sergeant Angel.
Yes, I am.
I'm Joyce Cooper. I trust you had a pleasant trip. Fascist.
I beg your pardon.
System of government characterized by extreme dictatorship. 7 across.
Oh, I see. It's fascism.
Fascism.
I was gobsmacked by that because when you go back and hear Aughra now, you can kind of hear her voice. Oh, I was so delighted. Aughra is easily my favorite character of this whole movie. Easily.
We would be fucked if we played a drinking game every time they said the word shard. I actually brought that up when we were taking our notes, and within 30 seconds of me saying that, they said the word shard 4 times.
At least.
Yes.
I feel like they probably said some more, but we were too busy laughing our asses off.
Well, and I don't know if I'm offended or if I feel seen by the noise she makes when she sits down.
Oh my God.
And then Ty has the fucking audacity.
The audacity of that bitch.
That audacity to go, what is that noise she's making?
Did he really?
Yeah, and I said,
How dare ye?
she's probably 46.
3,046.
Okay.
Which is often how I feel.
But I know when I got up at the end of this movie, I was like, probably because some trifling ass hoe across from me gave me too much tequila.
Aughra's place is badass. I want you to tell me differently. When she opened them doors and she's like, check this shit out. Jen, I am going to blow that shard right out of your a-hole.
Jen is giving me a real Gary from Team America vibe.
Gary.
I sense confusion.
Well, he's having to deal with Aughra, and she has a lot of personality. I love every second of it. Aughra tells Jen about the Great Conjunction. Junction.
Wait.
What's your function?
The naked Skeletor is following the beetles around?
Wait, the next. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, hold on.
Okay.
She Aughra tells Jen he needs to heal the crystal with the shard. Jen figures out which shard is the real one because of his, ocarina. And just as she's about to tell Jen what to do with the shard, those beetle crabby bitches show up and fuck everything up. And Jen escapes. And who is watching all of this happen?
Naked Skeletor.
I'm so glad you asked. It's the Chamberlain. And he saves Jen.
I don't trust that at all.
You shouldn't.
Well, of course not.
No one should trust Chamberlain ever.
You can't tell me you didn't notice the random penises stuck on the trees all through that jungle.
No, I didn't.
You didn't notice any of the penises on the trees?
No, I was busy going, wow, what a beautiful landscape Jim Henson has created for us. Wow, what a gift to the world.
And you thought that's a gift to the world and you still didn't notice the penises?
Jen is roaming around trying to figure out the shard, and he ends up face to face with a little yappy dog thingy. And along with yappers is a cute little popsicle named Kira. And what the fuck is this? She's Gelfling.
What is happening? Are they having some kind of mind meld like Eric Draven shared memories with Ernie Hudson and the Crow?
Yeah, that's love.
Holy shit, what the fuck is that yodeling nonsense she just did to raise him out of the water? God damn. Okay, well, we can't actually dream fast in real life. That would make getting to know people easier. That's a con.
Well, I don't want to know everybody's ins and outs and in all of their bullshit story. God, think about when people show you like slides of their vacations and stuff. You want to see that in real time.
It's you only do it with people you want to, but you can't in real life. That's
Sometimes
a con.
people snatch onto you and they're like, guess what? We're doing this for now.
No, you smack them to the ground.
That doesn't always work.
You smack them to the
When you smack them, they grab hold of your hand and then clutch in, and then you're fucked. You are there for 2 hours, and now you're not going to be making it to Chipotle for lunch.
Okay, well, speaking of food, we're back at Golden Corral. It's $15.99 all-you-can-eat Nebbly Sunday.
Well, I love the dinner scene with the Skeksis, even if it involves
Golden Corral, $15.99 all-you-can-eat Nebbly Sunday.
Nebbly's back on the menu, boys.
It's fucked up. And those whack-ass beetles nabbed the wrong hoe.
Oh, yeah, they did. That was a fucking mistake on their part. They grabbed the wrong big titty dump truck ass.
Yes, they did.
Gal.
Yes, they did.
Instead, they come back with a gift for me.
What's the gift for you?
Aughra. Aughra's the gift. She's the gift. She's a gift for me because Aughra's the gift. She gives the Skeksis the what for, and then she squats again.
And then she starts stealing shit.
Jen and Kira are rowboating, and she's singing a little ditty. And Jen, who loves his ocarina.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you think the creators of The Little Mermaid saw this movie and were like, this boat scene is excruciating. On behalf of boats, we need to create the Kiss the Girl scene to bring honor back to singing in boats and film?
No.
I don't think they had any intention at all of the kiss the girl scene. La 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 la. And then they saw the dark crystal and they're like, this is fucking excruciating. So now we got to create some bullshit.
Whoa.
See? Yeah.
Well, thank you, the Dark Crystal.
That probably cost $5 million.
What, the Kiss the Girl?
Of course.
You're welcome. Isn't that like one of the most memorable songs from the movie?
Yeah, you know who didn't get paid? Writers.
Blame Hollywood.
I blame the Dark Crystal.
Why?
Because they did this scene and that led to them having to do that in The Little Mermaid, which led to the writers not getting paid.
I just want to be clear.
Yep.
You are directly blaming Jim Henson, who wrote this.
No, because I also read a little bit about the Dark Crystal, and here's what happened. Jim Henson is a good guy.
Yes.
And
oh no, go on.
He had a cousin named Steven Spielberg. And Steven wasn't known at the time. And he said,
E.T. came out this year.
Okay, but this was written in 1970.
82.
1970. Okay. Jim Henson had a cousin named Fred Henson. And Fred wanted to contribute. And Fred's mom was like, would you just please let Fred help? And Jim was like, all right, just one little scene. And Fred was like, listen, here's my idea. There's a swamp and a boat and a song. It's going to create mood. It's going to, there's, you know.
Sounds great.
And Jim was like, fuck it. Okay. No one's going to care.
No one's going to care.
And this is what happened. And then the Little Mermaids saw it and they're like, boats have been humiliated.
This is easily the stupidest thing you've ever said. Kira takes Jen back to her village, and she lives with the podlings, and their design is based on potatoes because they're meant to represent the earth of that planet. And they are super lively, and I love their partying attitude. And so do you. They're very, very chill.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think Jimmy Cam saw this movie and he created the steerage dance scene in Titanic to bring honor back to random dance scenes in film?
I'm ready to end this entire podcast. This trip was a disaster. How dare you?
Because many think that one scene in Titanic didn't quite make any sense when Rose and Jack were downstairs dancing in steerage. And then I saw this movie again and there was that dance scene and I was like, well, this doesn't make any fucking sense. And then I thought, well, Jimmy Kim, he must have watched this and thought, I must bring honor back to random dance scenes.
That's what you think?
Uh-huh.
That's what you think?
Yeah. Yep.
Titanic, you say? You know who else was in Titanic? It was the voice of Chamberlain, Barry Dennen. He was a praying man.
No, you're making that up.
He is absolutely in Titanic. I was ready to pull that little gem out just in case you tried any fuckery.
Okay, I'll do an extra shot if that is a real thing.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to do a shot with you?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It is real. Be right back, everybody. Well,
we're back. You lied to me so many times about things being real.
It's real. Look it up, kids.
Fuck me.
Where are we? Okay, I got it.
Is it just me or is Jen kind of a little bitch?
He's a little bitch.
Like, he's scared of everything, but then he goes into that creepy-ass ruins that Kira's like, we don't go in there, dum-dum. It's an uncomfortable ruin.
It sounds like Jen is a gift.
To who?
Everyone.
Who would, in real life, who would Jen be a gift to?
Didn't you say he was just a scared little bitch?
Yeah.
Didn't you earlier say something about the gift of fear?
There's a difference between scared and fear.
What is that difference?
There you go.
Jen and Kira happen upon some ruins.
Creepy ass ruins.
And it was the Gelfling headquarters before they were wiped out by those dastardly Skeksis.
Gelfling headquarters. Get the fuck out of here.
It was where they did their business, the headquarters. And as they're hanging out, Chamberlain shows up. And he tells them...
Is that Skeletor?
Chamberlain. None of these guys are Skeletor.
No, the weird-ass titty guy?
Yeah, Chamberlain.
Okay.
I love it when Jen and Kira ride the Landstriders. That actually took a lot to do that.
She's like, don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Those bat-eared stilt-walking fuckers are weird as shit.
Okay, they literally were on stilts. Those are actual men on stilts. And it was extremely dangerous because what they had them do, that's the thing with Jim Henson with this movie. Like I said, he built a whole world. CGI was not a thing for them, at least. I have no idea when that started. It was not a thing for them at this time. So they built like a whole thing for those Land Riders to like run down. But those are men on stilts. That is extremely dangerous.
That sounds dangerous. That's a con.
It was definitely dangerous. So they had like a massive crane with wires attached to those. So in case they fell, they wouldn't break their necks, which they didn't. I mean, so they were very, very cautious to make sure that the performers that were in those, but those Landstriders, when you see them like going, so fast, they were really running on those stilts. That's really incredible.
They'd be traumatized for life, but it's a cool scene.
They're circus performers. They're already traumatized. Back at the castle, we see how the Skeksis keep their obvious youth. And it's by draining the essence of beings. And they're mostly just getting their fix from draining podlings. And after they're drained, they become slaves. That's the podlings. Become slaves in the castle.
Listen, I remember not liking this as a kid. I remember it being very scary. That's a con.
Didn't we already talk about the gift of fear?
Yes, and the fear was like, don't watch this movie. You're 5.
But then you learned a valuable lesson about life, about sometimes, life gets you down, and sometimes you're going to be drained of your essence, either metaphorically or literally, depending on where you are.
And then go to therapy, and then maybe be a therapist.
You're welcome. Oh, do you know you find your career fulfilling?
When you're 5?
Yes. Well, at the time, you weren't ready to be a therapist yet. You didn't know you were going to be a bank teller because you thought that that's how you got all the money. And I'm completely serious. And then one day you're like, well, that's stupid. And you're like, I better do something that's really, really fulfilling. I better watch The Dark Crystal again to see what inspiration I can get from this. Oh, let's see. Watch. Oh, a therapist. And then that led you to where you are now. You're welcome.
No, that's not how that happened.
That is literally how it happened.
No.
I was there. I remember.
You don't remember?
I definitely don't.
No, I was 8 and I watched Rambo. And
no, you did not. Nobody watched Rambo at 8.
I definitely watched Rambo when I had my Rainbow Bright kitchen. I remember it very clearly.
It is so upsetting that you remember that so clearly.
I do. I remember watching Rambo with my rainbow when I was in my Rainbow Bright kitchen because I remember when he fell in the tree and he cut himself and I had like empathy. I was like, holy shit. And then he like stitched himself up and I'm like, well, that's pretty fucking cool. I thought when I was 8 and I was like, okay, well, I could do something with this. So how can I help people?
Just out of curiosity.
Yes.
When you had that realization.
Yeah.
Whilst you were in your Rainbow Bright kitchen.
Yeah.
Watching Rambo.
Yeah.
Did you continue to cook whatever you were cooking in your Rainbow?
Of course I did. I'm not a quitter.
What were you cooking?
Pancakes.
PTSD pancakes. The P is for pancakes.
T is for trauma.
Pancake trauma. Anyway. Jen and Kira.
Wait.
Oh, no. Yeah?
Kira's like, hey, weird-ass beetles, kill these guys instead. And then she could fly this whole fucking time?
Yeah, Jen and Kira make their way to the castle and they're about to go over a cliff, but Kira has a secret.
And then fucking Jen is like, oh, this must lead to the lower part. What the fuck? And then he has to go on.
Is he wrong?
Okay, but then he goes in that whack-ass looking entrance in the shape of a demon skull.
Is he wrong?
Surrounded by, I'm sorry, what do those look like? Gelfling bones?
Is he wrong?
But the character who has not had one rational thought this whole movie is leading this train now. Choo-choo.
That leads to the bottom. He's right.
Okay.
A clock can be right 50% of the time.
Okay. Does Kira get her fucking brain sucked out?
Not immediately.
Okay, go, continue.
In the castle, Chamberlain shows his true side and snacks Kira and buries Jen under a bunch of rocks.
Finally.
Chamberlain uses having the Gelfling to get back in the good graces, and they decide to drain Kira's essence. That's unfortunate. She's going to have to do some SPF like crazy, more than usual. Wear sunscreen, people.
Everyone. I work indoors.
Yeah.
And my moisturizer has SPF in it. That's a true story.
Congratulations. Can we order like DoorDash tonight?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Pizza? Let's get pizza, dude.
We just, do we have to do pizza?
No, let's do good pizza out somewhere.
Can we do Chinese? You can't handle Chinese.
I can do Chinese.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's some good, I looked up some good Chinese. Okay. Kira calls all the animals to save her because she can do that.
It would be kind of funny if Kira called all the animals, but they just kind of bounced the fuck out of there.
It's like a text line.
No, they'd be like, we'd like to stay and help, but we heard it was all you can eat Nebly Sunday at the buffet.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We love Neblies.
How long are you going to be there?
And she's like, not fucking long, squirrel.
I mean, but like how long? Like, are you going to stay all night or are you
No,
going to have some
2
drinks?
minutes.
Or...
I have 2 minutes, bitch. And they're like, ooh.
Okay, I'm having dinner with my family. They came in from out of town.
They're like, oh, Neblies are like, they stay good for 5 minutes.
Like now, or like, will you still be fucked in like 20 minutes? Just give us like a real guesstimate.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah.
These beetles, they're almost as stupid as Jen. When they come in to like attack Jen,
Yeah.
he somehow escapes the beetles.
He's sentient. He can like talk and stuff.
When have you actually heard him complete a real sentence in this whole
More
movie?
than the beetle crabs. All they
Do
do
I
is
belong
click,
here?
click, click,
I
click,
belong.
click.
Should I go on my own? I guess I'm going on my own. Are you dying? You're dying. Will I ever see you again? What's happening? I just gave you Jen.
Do you speak beetle crab?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. That's not in my Duolingo.
You're welcome.
I swear, when I was watching this, Kira is animal calling. All I could think was it sounded like a goddamn Yoko Ono album.
That's a con.
The mystics are slowly, very slowly,
Holy shit.
slowly but surely, making their way to the castle.
Jesus, those gimpy ass turtles, man. Fuck.
They're not turtles, they're lizards. And the suns are converging. That's the Great Conjunction Junction. And Jen is trapped in the cavern holding the crystal. Kira is trying to single-handedly fight the Skeksis. Fizzgig has been thrown off of into the pit. I am on the edge of my fucking seat at this point. And Jen jumps on the crystal. Kira has the shard, but throws it to Jen. And then she is fucking stabbed of all things. Oh my God. Jen sticks the shard right in the crystal puss. And then shit is about to get real fucking trippy. I hope you are ready. Buckle the fuck up. If you are on mushrooms, I'm so sorry for you at this point. The mystics show up, and with the crystal healed, the mystics meld with the Skeksis, and they become a whole new nightmare.
No. So many other things happened.
No, nothing else happened.
No. Jen, of course, watches while Kira gets got.
He can't do anything. He's straddling the crystal.
The last second, he puts the shard in the crystal, and then for reasons I don't quite understand, the beetles start falling apart. The penises are falling all off the building. R.I.P.
Penises everywhere.
Aughra's croaking around the building.
Looking for penises.
Fuck all.
Had a girl.
Okay, don't say anything about the dog being alive.
Okay. The dog's... You think the Fiskeg's dead, but actually the Fiskeg...
Never mind, nothing about that.
Fiskeg is alive.
All of a sudden, the turtles and the Sherlocks combine into some whack-ass tree ghost.
Skeksis.
Okay. They are trying to tell a story, and Jen is like, hey, girl, can you just bring my girlfriend back? I still haven't gotten to second base, and I just recently found out she has wings.
And they do.
He is clearly just wanting to bring her back because he found out she has wings. He's trying to get some good.
He wants a flight handy. Everybody wants that. All guys want that. The beings, that's what I'm calling them, that save Kira.
Tree ghost.
They fly away.
They fly away.
And that's the end of the movie.
It's done. Yes. It's over now.
I don't regret taking so many shots at tequila, but I feel like we're going to sound like absolute assholes on this.
Where are we?
We're going to eat Chinese food after this, though, right?
Yeah. I actually don't feel that drunk, which is probably a problem.
Can we get egg rolls?
I'm kind of more of a crab rangoon person at this point.
Why can't we have both?
Okay.
I am blasted. I'm going to have a hard time tomorrow. Anyway, bye, everyone. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I gotta do my happy ending.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Okay.
Okay, this movie's incredible.
Thank you. I was really, legitimately really excited to do this.
This movie was the shit.
You actually looked a little bit worried.
About what? About taking my notes?
No, last night that you were going to get a button push, but I'm way too drunk to focus on the button.
I didn't say anything, but this movie is gorgeous. It's confusing at first. You really have to pay attention at the beginning to understand. So I can see the criticism there. Mm-hmm. But if, like so many of the movies we do, you reach back and you just yank that stick out of your ass, and you just enjoy the fucking movie like movies are supposed to be, you'll be fine. Okay, do you want to hear my happy ending?
Oh, I would love to hear your happy ending.
Well, because we are in Denver at the Podcast Movement Convention, my happy ending is going to be about Adam Curry, who is a former VJ from MTV.
This is really out of... I never in a million years would I have guessed that would be your happy ending.
Okay, well, he is the inventor of the podcast. He got in touch with a guy named David Weiner. I'm probably saying his name wrong.
Weiner?
Who had been an early pioneer in blogging, having created RSS, which is short for Really Simple Syndication, the technology that drove a lot of blog infrastructure and distribution technology. Adam wanted to pitch Dave the idea of using blogging technology to distribute digital audio files. While Dave Weiner didn't really understand what Adam was talking about or why anyone would want to do this, he decided to give it a try. In January of 2001, Dave had finished the code to allow for the audio enclosures as Adam had outlined to him.
2001?
Yeah. To test it out, he created the first podcast feed. The feed launched on January 20th, 2001, which was Inauguration Day, when George W. was...
I do recall.
Oh, yeah. Okay. When he became president. The feed contained one item, which was the Grateful Dead song, U.S. Blues.
Ew.
Oh, kind of.
I'm just not a deadhead. I don't like jam music.
I know, but if you think about it.
Oh, no, it's cool.
U.S. Blues, George W. was inaugurated. Dave eventually added a few other Grateful Dead songs to the feed over time, but very few people listened to it. But who cares? It launched what would eventually be Split Happens.
Oh, that is a wonderful, wonderful happy ending. I never saw that coming.
In February 2004, journalist Ben Hammersley wrote an article for The Guardian where he coined the term podcast, combining the words iPod and broadcast. Podcast. Okay, so that's my happy ending.
Well, that was more informative than damn near anything I brought to the table this episode. That was amazing.
I started Googling where did podcast come from, and that's what I got. So I started I kind of did a deep dive into it, and I thought it was interesting. So there you go.
Really need to up my game on my happy endings.
Oh,
I love that.
thank you.
Okay, well, what's our next one going to be?
Our next one, we're going to stay in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing kind of it's a strange one for me to do, being a mental health person, because, well, we're going to do Better Off Dead with John Cusack, which it's on the Pro still. The premise is basically John Cusack is sad because he gets broken up with, so he just tries to kill himself a whole bunch, which
There is so much more to that movie.
there is. So I'm actually not really going to touch on a whole bunch about the fact that he's going to kill himself a whole bunch of the movie because I love the movie's hysterical. I think it's a great movie. It's so good. It's really clever.
It's one of the only 80s movies that I've shown my daughter that she actually legitimately thought was funny.
Yeah, it's a really funny movie. It's super weird. It's quirky.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to do it. And then
Beginning of September is very special because it is Katrina's birthday on September 2nd.
September 2nd's my birthday.
So we thought, what better way to celebrate?
And I love if there's a movie genre that's my bread and butter. I love action movies. Action movies are my favorite movies. And I do love Keanu Reeves. And it just so happens that Keanu Reeves was born in September. We are doing all Keanu movies in September. So we are doing Speed, Matrix, Point Break, and John Wick.
Well, I need to go sober up.
Good
I need to
luck.
finish my margarita. But after that, I'll sober up so that I can take a nap and then have Chinese food. I can't wait. We love Denver. We're excited to be here. We can't wait to see it. Hopefully we'll meet some people at Podcast Movement.
Yes, 2023 Denver.
And thank you for listening.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Katrina Porter.
Bye, Anna Serene.